right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning. Hopefully you're doing okay. We have on the phone David Meltzer. He's been with us before. He is the CEO to sports super agent Lee Steinberg, who was played by Tom Cruise in the movie Jerry Maguire. So we were just talking about movies, and of course the Super Bowl is coming up, so we're going to kind of talk about sports as well. David Meltzer is the co-founder of Sports One Marketing, and the book he's going to talk about is called Connected to Goodness: Manifest Everything You Desire in Business and in Life. Hype, heritage, sportsmanship, and spectacle. The Super Bowl is upon us with full contact controversy and fantastic commercials. And but I always like the motivational message of manifest everything you desire. I just love that message, however it's delivered, if it's delivered accurately. David Meltzer, good morning, David.
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good. Where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm actually at the Pro Bowl.
Oh.
So I'm here in Arizona. So I'll be here Pro Bowl through Super Bowl, talk about hype and speculation.
Oh, are you really? We were just looking at information this morning about the University of Phoenix Stadium.
Oh, yeah. It's a very, very, very nice stadium. Easy access to the stadium. Great viewing. It's one of my favorite stadiums, actually.
No, I don't know how what it's going to tell you about me, but I did not know that it wasn't an actual university.
I didn't either.
Or put it this way, a university with a campus.
Right. It's a mostly night and commuter. It's actually Larry Fitzgerald is their spokesperson, and so he's getting his graduate degree while he's playing for the Cardinals.
Oh, is that right? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool. So there is no home team at this stadium, am I right?
Yeah, there's no home team in this stadium.
So what? So you're right in the heart of it right now. Are you? Is the town excited? Somebody, I think it was Galen, told us this morning. One of the gentlemen we speak to each morning, that it's going to cost the city $2 million. Is that right?
That they'll lose money. They're
lose
going
money.
to lose $2 million.
Yeah, I can't believe they lost money last time, and they're planning on losing money this time. I think, it's almost self-admitting poor leadership that if you can't be profitable from the most popular sport in the world, 2-1 here in America, and you can't make it profitable, where other cities like Indianapolis and New York and Dallas had no problem making millions. And that's why you bid for the Super Bowl. That's why there's so many cities. So I cannot believe a city would lose money from having the Super Bowl.
See, I thought the same thing, but I like your comment that wow, it's an admission that the leadership is dropping the ball somehow. Well, maybe just deflating the ball. With that said, I mean, if the message in the book is what I think it is, I mean, they need to read your book, How to Manifest Everything.
Right, in business and life. I would tell you, I would love to be able to organize and to lead a city to have a Super Bowl, because I can think of multiple revenue channels in order to make money.
Well, they need to hear from you. Or is it too late?
It's too late, but I'm sure Arizona will do a great job here in Phoenix, and I'm sure in the end they will be profitable. I can't imagine how you can't be.
Well, does business overshadow sportsmanship then, since everybody's vying to have the Super Bowl in their hometowns, and then they wonder about how much money they'll actually make?
Yeah, it could be a very, I hear I'm degrading the leadership here in Arizona, but one of the interesting things is, what if he's so calculating and such a genius, kind of like my mentor, Lee Steinberg, that this is just a negotiation ploy where he's downplaying having the Super Bowl so they can keep on having it back here.
Oh, okay. There you
go. Well, that's kind of clever, actually, if they do that.
Very well. I just thought of that.
So this is obviously this is the blood of you. I mean, this is where your heart really is, isn't it?
Oh yeah, this is my heart and soul are these 2 weeks. We actually are here at the Pro Bowl because Warren Moon, my partner, and I, we're putting on our 16th annual Pro Bowl player party for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So we raise a ton of money with the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the Pro Bowlers to help cure childhood cancer.
So when you team up with somebody like St. Jude's, gosh, how do I ask this question without seeming like I'm just just nasty. I don't want to sound nasty, but I mean, it always seems like somebody always has an organization that is really going to touch our hearts that they've teamed up with. Is that because A, they really, really have their heart in that place, or B, because there's somehow a way to parlay that relationship so that it becomes more profitable?
I think it's both. We utilize a matrix of relationship capital, situational knowledge to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. And I think picking the right organizations and charities to work with, in the end, do help a lot of people. But yes, it is a catalyst for capital generation. And I believe in an abundant universe where it's okay to make a lot of money if you're helping a lot of people with that money.
Well, and that's kind of the way. I mean, Robert and I, on a very, very small scale, but we do the exact same thing. We have a couple of organizations that we support financially with our little trickle of money compared to what you do. I mean, you've got billions. We've got tens.
No, we lose money. We lose money every year. We're just like the Super Bowl.
Oh no, oh no. But I mean, we have our heart there too. I mean, we want to support the organizations that we've handpicked to support. But at the same time, we realize, although it's kind of hard to get around this, we realize that associating ourselves with those organizations gives us a little more exposure than we might have had otherwise. But we don't really do it for that reason, to be honest.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And there's so many benefits with working with St. Jude, for example. Warren sits on the board of St. Jude. It's an incredible organization founded by Danny Thomas 51 years ago. But, from utilizing their database, the exposure, awareness, profile building, and just the brand connection with such a great organization certainly doesn't hurt our business. And I don't think it hurts theirs to tie into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Warren Moon, or Sports One marketing.
Oh, wow. And in fact, just to kind of, Robert and I actually helped out with St. Jude's years ago also. Mm-hmm. Robert and I do music, so we did a song called You Are the Strength,
yes.
I think. Mm-hmm. And it was to help raise money for St. Jude's. And again, it was a small amount, but it was our 2 cents. And we actually got a letter from Danny Thomas.
Yeah.
You still have it, right? It's still packed away somewhere?
Yeah, it's in there in our book.
I remember he complimented us on our choice of chords. I thought that was cool. He must have been a musician. Yeah, he must have been a musician.
It's an amazing organization, and I've been attracted to the organization. Once Danny Thomas had this great saying: "Those who take eat well at night; those who give sleep well at night." And that just resonated with me for years. And his story is so incredible, and how he built this from nothing to $1 billion charity.
Yeah, that is a great story. I love the fact that, and this is a little spiritual, I guess, but he promised God that he would do something, and I guess St. Jude's is how that manifested itself. That promise, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, isn't it beautiful? And he used to take his hat on an airplane, and he'd get on the old microphones that they had, and he'd say, "My name is Danny Thomas. I'm an entertainer, and I want to cure childhood cancer." And he'd walk down the row of the airplane collecting money for his first $1.2 million to build the hospital in Memphis.
Oh, wow.
Wow. What
never
a great
heard that story. Wow.
It's absolutely amazing.
So I don't want to be unfair to the book, but obviously this conversation is interesting to everybody from in many different angles. So you will be at the Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah. Every year we are putting on the NFLPA Lounge for the NFLPA, the Players Association. And so we have the W Hotel ground floor with the NFL, and we're hosting all the players to get educated on their programs and hopefully entice them with a few goodies and set off a big week on Friday night and Saturday night before the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
And do businesses there, do they stay open more than their normal hours and then hire extra employees just because it is really a season?
Absolutely. It's incredible what they do, and there's just so many people and so much interest and so much great energy here that everyone has to be alert and at work.
Oh, my gosh.
David Meltzer is our guest right now. We need to take a little break, David, and we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A nice day today with clouds and sun and a high between 74 and 78. Becoming mostly cloudy tonight, but mild, low 59 to 63. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, warm and rather humid with a couple of showers in the afternoon, the high 74 to 78. For Saturday, cloud and a shower giving way to some afternoon sunshine, breezy and cooler with highs generally in the 60s. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Regions Bank has big bankability but possesses small bank agility. Utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla Espanol as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank, it's time to expect more.
Come be swept away with medieval magic by volunteering at the 29th Annual Hogtown Medieval Fair on January 24th and 25th and January 30th through February 1st at the Alachua County Fairgrounds. Volunteers will take tickets, oversee exhibits, or provide breaks for the artists. Become a part of Gainesville's rich tradition of community service. Volunteers will receive a one-day pass. Applications can be downloaded at gvlculturalaffairs.org or call the City of Gainesville at 352-393-8536. All right, 14 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for sitting with us through the break. David Meltzer is on the phone. He's out in Phoenix at the Pro Bowl, and his book is called Connected to Goodness, Manifest Everything You Desire in Business and Life. And David, so what do you do there, actually? I mean, the news this morning was that I guess a lot of the Cowboys were picked. Is that right?
Say that again. I'm sorry. The Cowboys were picked.
Yeah, well, I'm not a sports guy, so I was just trying to help. I was trying to get something from you that our sports listeners would understand.
No problem. So with the Super Bowl, we I think New England and Seattle, here, but we're here so early with the Pro Bowl. That's a little bit different atmosphere, and it's amazing to watch the city while you get to be in the same city for 2 weeks. Is every single day exponentially, it just gets more and more crazy, more and more people. And, you start seeing people wearing jerseys, you start seeing signage, every single store, person coming off the airport. The airports are just a madhouse. And so right now, this is definitely the calm before the storm. I like to always say Warren's Pro Bowl party is the launch of the Super Bowl, because starting Thursday, we have a really good time, raise a lot of money, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it gets into the Super Bowl, and then it's just nonstop. All the media shows up Monday for Radio Row, and we have constant interviews. We have thousands of different media from around the country showing up, and all celebrities and athletes. It's a fabulous, fabulous experience.
So when we talk about hype, and we often think of hype in a negative term, like, oh, that's just a bunch of hype, and we kind of downplay it. But it's almost like if we didn't have hype, we wouldn't have the event at all. I mean, if this kind of event didn't have hype, I mean, the whole thing is hype, isn't it?
Yeah. It's managing the expectations with all this anticipation. What happens is there's so much energy generated by the interest in football, not just in the individual teams, but in the individual athletes. And so as the year goes on, and it's about, the whole year that you wait to see which team, if your team or someone else's team is going to make it, it just builds and builds and builds to this final 2 teams in which everyone has some sort of interest in, and it is a ton of hype. And I don't think that hype necessarily it is bad unless you don't deliver. And what has happened over the years is these Super Bowl games have been close, exciting, and they've lived up to the hype. And where there's, in the past I've had problems is when, the World Series is 4-0 or, a championship series is a blowout, where these games, like the national championship game in college football, lived up to the hype, and then everyone feels great about it. And so far, if you saw the playoffs last week, of course the Seattle game was well beyond the hype. So that was one of the best games I've ever seen.
It was great. It was a nail biter.
So now, did you change your allegiance after the deflate gate, as they're calling it now, or I don't even know how to even look at that.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Warren Moon, my partner, he actually is the commentator for the Seattle Seahawks. So I have huge allegiance for the Seahawks.
Ah, okay.
This just gives me more ammo to talk about how New England gets to where they're at by taking advantage of every single situation they can. And, everyone will tell you, I don't think it affected the game anyway, but anyone that knows Bill Belichick knows that he is looking at every single independent variable and how he can take advantage of it. And sometimes he crosses the line, unfortunately.
Ah, okay, all right. See, because I don't. Robin is a Packer fan, but of course, once the Packers were out, then she had to pick one of the two teams.
Yeah.
And so I was following her lead because I don't have a clue. So Robin would pick the Patriots because her son lives in New Jersey, even though that's not really New England.
Right.
But it's close enough.
Right.
But then when they deflated their balls, then we said, you know what? That sounds like cheating. Let's go across the country to the other side.
Yeah, right.
That's how we pick.
So we're going to Seattle.
Because you can't watch these games unless you really are rooting. It's like going to a horse race. You have to have a bet. It's not fun. It's not fun if you don't have somebody you're rooting for.
And exactly. And that's why they have so many silly future bets for those people that don't have an allegiance to a team, or they have who's going to score the first touchdown, how many yards this person. You can bet on anything nowadays, and that just also builds to the hype, interest, and energy of the game itself.
Is it poor sportsmanship if you bet? I mean, not us because we're not in it, but I mean, you're sort of kind of in it.
Yeah, I my personal belief is that fantasy football is gambling, and it's just the semantics, and eventually, just like. All the different things have changed. Eventually, we'll be able to gamble on everything, everywhere. It's just a matter of time. So I don't think it's poor sportsmanship. I think it's gamemanship. The problem is that gambling can be a disease, and it's fun when we're making a $10 bet, but unfortunately, like any other thing in our universe, people abuse and overdo things, and so they end up in a bad situation, whether it be alcohol or cigarettes or gambling.
That's true. Yeah.
And that puts a negative stigma on it. But most people that gamble have a lot of fun, picking the scores and all of that. And it's just entertainment. In fact, when I go to Las Vegas and I'm not a big gambler, I look at it as an entertainment. I might sit down and say, instead of spending $200 going to a show, I'm going to gamble with $200. And the neat thing about it is I could end up with my money back or more, and if I lose it all, it's just entertainment to me.
That's right. But let me tell you something. Have you ever seen the faces of men at a strip club?
Now, that would assume I've been to a strip club, but yes, when I was young, I was at a strip club.
Okay, but I just want you to remember
my wife listens to all these interviews.
Well, I just want to tell you something. That I went to a casino with Robin one time down in it was an Indian
Seminole
Indian
Tampa,
casino,
Florida.
And I saw on Robin's face the same look I see on when Robin saw those slot machines. It was like a man looking at a stripper. It was that same blank look,
Yeah.
Women like those slot machines.
That's awesome. Yeah, you change one vowel in the slot is the same thing as a stripper, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, you throughout your interviews and throughout all of your career really help a lot of people because your book is very, very fascinating. And you've run the gamut yourself. I mean, you've experienced a lot of success and then sometimes failure, and then you built it up to success again, and you still have a great demeanor about you.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I wrote the book, is that as I had to look back on my own successes and what people call failure, I call it successive events in my life, because those challenging times of, as a multimillionaire and losing all my money, that truly was the most rewarding and fulfilling thing and purposeful thing in my life. It gave me an awakening to see what's important and what my mission was and should be, and that's to empower others to be happy. and to not lose focus. I've been blessed to be friends with Robin Williams, who, one of my kids wanted to be an entertainer. And I said, well, you should have a career like Robin Williams, right? Stage, screen, TV, music.
Yeah.
The man's incredible. Cartoons with Disney, Aladdin. He's a phenomenal entertainer. And yet he had a micro mission and was he was thriving in his micro mission, but he lost track of his macro mission of being happy. And so I've really pragmatically looked at faith and fact together, put it down into principles and key elements so that people can stay clear, balanced, and focused on what they truly desire, and understanding the difference between desiring or wanting something and needing something, because we have everything we need. If we didn't, we wouldn't be here. And so I try to build that perspective, change the way people look at things so the things they look at change.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I was looking at an interview the other day of the young girl, and I don't remember her name, who did the song "It's All About the Bass." You know that song?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the young woman is, overweight a little bit, but still cute. I think she's a really cute one. But I saw this interview and it really touched me because she sent out the song without any hopes of herself being the singer, because she didn't believe that she was capable because of she was a little bit overweight. In fact,
Right.
she had a boyfriend who told her lose 10, well, not a boyfriend, but she wanted him to be her boyfriend. He said, well, lose 10 pounds and I'll be your boyfriend. What a jerk he was. But even her father, in a loving way, said to her, most of the girls that you see in these videos aren't heavy.
Yeah, they're penciled
And so he
in.
was trying to protect her from being disappointed. And then, of course, the producer said, you know what? You're beautiful. And the long story short, David, is that the result is that you have this girl with a happy ending because she's got a nice song that's a hit for herself.
Wonderful
But
song.
better than that, all these other girls are feeling empowered by her message, saying, you know what? She's right. I'm not so bad after all.
Yeah, they're real people out there, the ones that look like everyone else, feel comfortable
Yeah.
and understand. And people think she's beautiful, right? She's changing the way that everyone looks at that, and we don't have to have these made-up people that we see in magazines and TV. And, being in the industry, it's amazing when you meet people in person and compared to what they look like in these magazines and on TV. With all the creative artists out there, they could, they even can make me look good on TV, which is a miracle.
By the way, her name is Megan Trainor. I had to look her up. I just don't know her name off the top of my head. All right, so your book is called Connected to Goodness. Obviously, you've got a grip on what we need. I loved your Robin Williams story because that is exactly true. You can't lose track of the big picture either.
Yeah.
And it's easy for us to say. I guess it wasn't easy for him.
No.
Wow, well, you're a fun interview. Wow, this goes. The time went by so fast. See, when we have a good time, it goes fast.
Well, have me back. I'd love to come back anytime.
So, who's going to win? Oh, I know who you're going to say. Seattle. You got to say Seattle.
No, actually, no. I'm rooting for Seattle because I'd love Warren to get another Super Bowl ring. He's lucky enough to get one if they win. But I think New England's going to win. I think they are a sound football team, well coached, and take advantage of everything that they can. And
Really?
I think it'll be a very close game, and I think New England will win.
So did I understand you right? Your announcer friend, he gets a ring too?
Oh yeah. So, and Warren, because I know you're a huge football fan, he's the first African American quarterback in the Hall of Fame. And so, talk about not people back in the '70s when he won the Rose Bowl and was MVP of the Rose Bowl. The teams actually said he wasn't intelligent enough to be a quarterback. He wasn't tall enough. He's 6'4". He wasn't fast enough. All these different reasons. So he had to go to Canada for 6 years. And he went to Canada for 6 years, and he won every Grey Cup, every award ever imagined.
Oh, wow.
And then finally, the Houston Oilers made him the highest-paid player in the league, and he was truly the first black franchise quarterback. And he played 17 more years till he was 44 years old, set every record until Brett Favre beat those records, and was the first black quarterback in the Hall of Fame. But the one thing that he didn't win in all those years was a Super Bowl ring. And so when the Seahawks won last year, the owner of the team gave Warren a Super Bowl ring.
Oh, wow. Love
how
that story.
wonderful.
Love that story.
Gosh, you gave me chills.
By the way, I got to see a Super Bowl ring up close. We have a sort of a kind of a friendship with Don Nottingham from the From the Dolphins?
Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, he lives here, and he helped raise money for the Special Olympics. David Meltzer, connectedtogoodness.com is the website. Go to Amazon and get it. Thank you, David. That was a great interview.
Thank you. Have me back. I really appreciate your time and having me on.
Thank you. That was awesome. We'll be right back.
All studios. This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu as the NFL.